Hello, everyone. I have a very special guest today. I have Chanel Morales, who is in the UK, and her daughter Nynaeve is, I think, 10 or 11 now? 11?
She's nearly 11 in August.
Okay, great. So Nynaeve has been with Galileo for several months. We actually met Chanel, my daughters and I actually met Chanel in Mexico because we're both digital nomad moms and moms, and world schoolers. So we run in the same circles. And so we met in real life and we socialized when we were together in Playa, and our girls really got to know each other. And then Nynaeve joined Galileo because we encouraged her to try it out. So I wanted to ask Chanel a little bit more about her lifestyle as a digital nomad mom. She has an amazing Facebook group, and she's also a business consultant where she coaches women to launch their own online businesses. So I'd love to learn more about that. And then a little bit more about, how Nynaeve was learning before she joined Galileo and how things are going now. So, all right, so Chanel, take it away. Let us know a little bit more about you and your background, and mention your Facebook group names and whatnot.
Yeah, so we left the UK about 2 years ago. So we've literally been traveling full time for the last 2 years. Before that, Nynaeve was in school full time, and I was working in a marketing job in a 9 to 5. That was about 3 years ago. I left that job, and I was kind of like, not really happy with the 9 to 5 lifestyle. Found it all really boring, couldn't travel, didn't have flexibility, all the usual stuff that everyone totally understands. And so I decided to launch my own business, and then I started doing marketing, digital marketing, and realized that I didn't need to be in my town I was living in. I could be anywhere. Like, I realized it wouldn't make a difference if I was doing this from a beach in Thailand or if I was doing it from my house in Staffordshire. So I was like, why am I here? This isn't necessary. I started researching online about travel and homeschooling, and discovered the concept of world schooling really around that time, and realized that I didn't need to homeschool her in that formal sense of giving her lessons every day and all that stuff, and that if we were to travel we could be very free. And so for the first couple of years of traveling, I really was first year or so of traveling, I was really relaxed with it. I kind of just let her learn from experience. We went to museums, she'd met local people, we talked to people, and I kind of was quite laid back with it all. And she was 8 then as well, so she was young. It wasn't such a big concern that she would get behind or anything like that. And so through the years of traveling, I started a blog actually when I first started traveling, and women started to ask me, how are you traveling the world on your own with a child with no savings, because I had £300 in my bank when I left, and how is that possible? And so I created a course to help other women to do the same. So I now coach women to launch their own coaching businesses, or become consultants, or become a virtual assistant, anything online that they can do that's service-based, that's remote. I help them to start that with a 12-week program. So I'm not super busy. I try and really give myself a lot of balance. I'm a big fan of not working hard, working smart. But at the same time, I do have a business. I do have to do coaching calls. I do have to, do a lot of stuff. And so Nynaeve has become very good at entertaining herself. Mm-hmm. And even before Galileo, she did have to become very good at figuring out stuff on her own, doing, finding things to do by herself. And she had her own laptop and all that kind of stuff. But since joining Galileo, it's just been another weight off my shoulders, another level of mum guilt kind of been removed, because I know that at least somebody is like asking her every day, what are you doing? And giving her ideas of things to do. And then it's just for me to go, Nynaeve, go and do your Galileo work, or go and check on what you're supposed to do for today. So it's just really helped me to be able to focus on my business, focus on making the money, so that then I can hire tutors. So now she has private tutors for her dyslexia, for creative writing, for Spanish. So yeah, it just gave me an extra level of freedom and flexibility, that I didn't have to worry about being the only person in charge of her education, especially as she starts to get older. And I wanted to learn different things, and things that I don't know about, like science and maths, which are not my things. And I'm not a very patient person. I'm not really a teacher type. You know, I am with adults, but I think it's just a different ball game, and I'm teaching business, which I love. So if I could just teach her that, then I would be fine. But there's other things she needs to learn. So it's nice to have other people to help her with that, and someone to help her structure her time, and also the connection with the other kids every day. Because obviously being a single mum and she's an only child, it was literally just us for like 18 months with nobody else. You know, people you'd meet, you know, along the way for a while, but then moving on again. So it's nice for her to have those friends that no matter where she travels, she has the same group that she's always working with.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing, right? For us.
It's been consistent for her. I love how, you know, we met you guys in Mexico, and so she was logging in from Mexico, and then you were in the UK, and she still logged into the Americas group, and then she was in Brazil for a while, then back to the UK, then to Thailand and back, always the same Americas time zone, or the second. So she was logging in either at 8 a.m. wherever she was in the world, or 9 p.m. So that is funny. And you're back in the UK now, but she still is with the Americas group. But
yeah, she's not an early riser. So when we were in Mexico, that first month or whatever it was, she was not happy. She was waking up at 8 a.m. She was not. But yeah, the late night ones don't faze her. She's a night owl like me. She's up till 12, 2 in the morning, like most days. So yeah, she's fine with that.
The nice thing is right now we divide the world in two. We have the Americas group, and then we have the Europe, Africa, Asia group, and maybe we'll enroll people in Australia. But that half of the world, they basically start their check-ins at 8 a.m. London time, every half an hour until 11 a.m. So that might be a little early for her. And then the clubs happen after. So she, being where she is, has the options to do the clubs in that part of the world, or she can wait until late in the day when they're done again live. The teachers usually do them twice. So she's kind of in a good position where she can kind of pick and choose. And then she'll basically double the exposure to all the other kids, all the other classmates in Galileo.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I'm going to have to look at the Europe, Asia category so that we can see what group she can get into.
Look at the schedule and see what works for her, because you know some might work for her. Great. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to share my screen a little bit and let people know what programs we have going, and then I wanted to ask you which ones Nynaeve is participating in now, or maybe wants to sign up for soon, because we have so many new ones. But so I think she's involved with the Spanish club, right? And
yeah, I think that's the only club she's doing at the minute, because she, like I said, she has private tutors as well. So she does a lot of stuff as well as Galileo.
We do have a writing club, which my girls participate in, and that's great. And then, you know, various English literacy clubs. We have the new science club, 3D modeling club, which again, I would have never thought to teach my girls or expose them to this, but really great. This is the International Quarantine Club. It's a student-led club. Our students are launching their own clubs now. There's an art club now. And so maybe Nynaeve, she has so many different interests, will want to launch a club. If there's enough students who are interested, then they can do that. But yeah, this is the Start Your Own Business Nana degree, which I know you're already pro at it, and your daughter already knows about that.
She's been listening to me teach everyone in the Dream Club, but yeah, it's so good.
Exactly. And then there's how to give presentations. That's a brand new Nana degree. So we're trying to give kids practical experience, and also check out the Global Citizen Club with Moreau Siegel. He's been world schooling since he was her age. I mean, since he was 8, and he's 21 now. So these are the programs. And then another thing I don't know if you've seen this yet, but our teachers put together a massive list on a Trello board of all these different learning resources that they recommend. These are all curated. And it just, I know.
No, I've not seen
this is gold. This is new. This is gold. And like, if my kids say, Mom, I really want to take a typing class or do some art, I would have to spend so much time researching which one is the best one for them. And, you know, I want to launch a YouTube channel. So this teaches them, and look at the massive amounts of different online apps that
wow, that is insane.
Yes, they have checked them all out. So for me as a single mom, I don't have to spend the time figuring out, you know, which programs work for my daughter. So it's great for single parents, but also for any working parent that are busy.
Yeah,
it's so hard to be the homeschooling parent plus the working parent. So I know that you've mentioned that before, so can you elaborate a little bit more about how Galileo can help in that way?
Yeah, so obviously Nynaeve has her monthly calendar that she plans herself with the support of the class and the tutors. So each day she has allocated like 3 different tasks that she's supposed to do, 3 different types of schoolwork or reading or whatever it might be. So I only have to say to her, you know, go and do your Galileo work. I don't have to be the one to actually go and figure out what she's got to do each day. Yeah. It's all pre-planned. And then she can check in with because obviously she does her work before the check-in, because the check-in is like 5 p.m. So she usually does the work in the day and then checks in with the teacher, and tells the teacher what she's done that day, and then is prepared for the next day as well. And yeah, the main thing is just reminding her of the times of stuff. So like when she's got her tutors, and so we have now set up Alexa. So
we
Alexa
did too.
said,
yeah,
great. Alexa, oh, she thinks I'm talking to her. She just made a noise. Not you, not now. But yeah, so we set reminders. So they remind us like 10 minutes before everything now, because we were just getting to the point where it was like, oh my God, and with time zones, and sometimes it can be a bit crazy. So we've set all that up so we get reminders. So it just means the day runs smoother, because I was getting to the point where, you know, I would get up and start working, and then I'd be mid through something. She'd get up and she'd kind of just sit around and, I don't know, just not really get anything done. But now she knows what she has to do. There's always something that she can do. You know, if she doesn't want to do work, or she finds something else she's interested in, that's fine. Or she goes out, you know, with family or something like that, that's fine. But when she's at home and she's thinking, you know, I'm bored, we know what she can do. Right. So that's just made a massive difference to her day-to-day life and mine as well.
Do you think that the check-ins help her, either with the other kids, you know, having community and you know, learning from each other, inspiring each other? Does it help her be more accountable?
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the big things that she was missing from traveling, really, was that friendships and community. And yeah, I know our girls get on really well, so it's been really nice for her to have that continued connection with them. Because as well, even with kids that you meet around the world, a lot of times, you know, they'll get to know each other and they'll like each other, but then they'll never see each other again. So it was really nice that Nynaeve got to stay in touch with your girls, and that was one of the biggest things that she was missing from being a world school kid, really, was that connection, community. Because I've told you this before, I'm not organized when it comes to travel. I was just like, I'm booking a flight and I'll just go places, and I didn't think, you know, I'll go to this summit or I'll go to this event. I never like planned anything like that. And when I came to Playa and I met all you guys, it was just like, oh, so this is what it could be like if I was more organized. And I planned to actually meet people along the way. So that's definitely what we're doing next time. If we go again, it will be to meet specific friends and travel to meet specific groups of people and things like that.
Yeah. So once the COVID shutdown is over, we are, I mean, I'm hoping the World Schooling Summits, the various ones, will pop up again. And we at Galileo, we want to have a retreat. I don't know if you know this, in Portugal, one in Bali, and one in Mexico. So you can hop to all of them.
All places that I want to go to.
Exactly. You can just hop.
That's perfect.
And then you can meet the families that are, you know, in that time zone, or whoever chooses to go, and meet them in real life. And we're starting to get people joining, and they're inviting their friends within their homeschooling community or whatever, whoever they know. So they're trying, like whether they're in Prague or Vancouver, Canada, or wherever, they're trying to get their friends to join, and then they could still meet up with people in real life. You know, do the Galileo stuff in the morning or whatever. Yeah, and then have a physical kind of homeschooling friends in their town where they live, or in the world schooling hubs that are around the world. So that's another great way to do it, to have a mixture, you know, of like the learning work online and then the social stuff offline, you know, once.
Yeah, well, usually we would be going out doing things, you know. Before COVID hit, I just enrolled her in drama lessons, horse riding lessons, because we'd come back to the UK. So I was really excited that she'd be able to do like real in-person clubs. Yeah. And then all this happened. So that was a bit of a pain. So definitely glad that we had Galileo, you know, when that all happened, because I don't know what we'd have done for the last few months if we hadn't have had.
Yeah. Galileo. And, you know, I think
we drove each other mad.
I know. We just onboarded some kids, or we have some kids that have been with us for a while who are really into equestrian stuff. So
Oh, wow.
I think that everyone should get together and at least have an online club about equestrian stuff, you know?
Yeah, Niney really was getting into horse riding. She'd asked to do it for ages. But
Yeah.
obviously, because we're traveling all the time, you can't really do horse riding. So we'd come back to the UK and
Yeah.
then all this happened.
Cool. All right. So is she making other friends within the check-ins or the clubs? And you need to make.
I think it's only a small group, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, but the clubs have bigger groups. So the check-ins are maximum. The check-ins are maximum 8 kids. But the Start Your Own Business one, I think they have like 25 kids that show up every week.
Wow. Yeah, I'll have to get her into that one. That sounds really, really great. Definitely.
Yeah. So even just for the social thing, and I'm sure Nynaeve can teach everyone something.
Probably. Just start talking about marketing.
Exactly. She's so good at it. Okay, good. Well, so, and then I don't know if you looked on our website, we have this thing called we have 4 paths that we encourage our students to go down. One is university, which is the traditional one. The other one is launching a tech company at the age of 18, where we help, with the concept, make sure they know how to write a business plan, and they can learn how to pitch for funding to angel investors that we would connect them with. And then the other one is a freelance creative route, I think, or like online business, what you do. And the fourth is if you want to work in technology, like be a coder or UX designer or something, but you don't want to launch your own company. So we have those 4 routes. What do you see Nynaeve doing? Something similar to you?
Well, she wants to be an actress.
That's true, yeah.
And she has done for a while. So, I mean, it's definitely not an online business. It's not what I would advise. But I think if she can build, like a personal brand as an actress as she goes, I think that she can monetize that at any time. Then maybe influence a kind of route.
Well, we are going to be launching these challenges soon, since there's no grading in Galileo, but we want to really motivate the students. So one of them is, learn to speak Spanish in 3 months, or another one is launch a podcast within 3 months, or become a YouTube influencer in 3 months. I mean, so we're doing really cool things like that. Write a book within 3 months and publish it. So maybe, that could be something that she can participate in. And that'll just give her the push, and this, the help and the guidance from our teachers and facilitators and mentors and how to do it. We did launch, as I mentioned, an art club. We have a new music club coming out soon. So I'm sure it's only time when we launch a drama club or some type of acting thing.
Yeah, she'd love that. Yeah, so I'm going to have a look through, because I didn't realize all these new clubs had come up. The last 2 months have been crazy for me. I've literally just been like treading water, launching my new membership site and all that crazy stuff. So yeah, I think I need to have a look at all those new things, because they weren't there last time I was there.
Yeah, I mean, you joined a little earlier on when it was a little bit more basic. I mean, after the club, but we had kind of basic stuff. But in the last 2 months, we've launched so many new clubs and nano degrees, which are project-based classes. And again, I showed you that list of the learning resources. So
yeah, that's really cool.
I do help them copy and paste last week's schedule to this week, but we tweak it quite a bit by looking at what's coming, what the new clubs are. And then if they're getting tired with, one app like Math Prodigy for math or whatever, I'll say, okay, why don't you try, something else? And the teachers help with this too. So yeah. So I love how it's like fluid. It changes and it grows. The schedule grows as the kids' interests change,
Definitely. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, awesome. Well, so what would you say to people who have heard of Galileo, but we're a little radical? There's lots of traditional online education programs out there that follow like a school curriculum, and we're all about self-directed learning and the kids learning about what they're passionate about, and then the facilitators and teachers are there to support them. What do you think of people who think of this idea as a bit radical and crazy? And like they're curious to know if it works? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I guess it depends on your view of your child's future. So what kind of world are you preparing them for? Because I've been, to university and then got the job and then realized it wasn't what I wanted, and it wasn't fun, it wasn't balanced, it wasn't enjoyable, you tied into it 9 to 5. So really the education system as it stands, that's what it prepares people for. It prepares them for a life trapped in a 9 to 5. So if you don't want that for your kids, if you want them to have more options, you want them to be able to think for themselves, be able to, you know, innovate and all that kind of stuff, then that's why you should send them to Galileo, really, because that's exactly what Galileo prepares them for. It makes them self-motivated, it makes them think outside the box, and it just gives them a completely different worldview than being in a school. So I think really Galileo is for parents who are a bit radical. I mean, I don't think you'd want to, I mean, if you're straight down the line, education, university, want your kids to get a 9 to 5 job, then it's probably it's not right for you. But if that's not your idea of a good life, and you want your kids to do something different, and you believe that you can see that the world is changing, and the world isn't going to sustain that kind of model for much longer, and that's not going to be the way to go if you want to be, you know, if you want to live a really abundant life, if you really want to go far in life, you know, jobs are going to be disappearing, you know, technology, all that kind of stuff. There's not going to be that many jobs out there, and do you really want one anyway? So they need to be creating their own thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I kind of look at it as the kids in Galileo are learning in a way that the adults that join your business academy learn. You know, like you are there as the coach, the expert, you're teaching people things, but then you give them tasks to do, and they need to do their work to learn it. And you know, it's like all this adult education that we've had, where we pick and choose what we want to learn. The kids have not had that freedom until now with Galileo.
Yeah, definitely.
I
wish somebody had taught me that stuff when I was, you know, a kid. Yes. I wish someone had taught me to think for myself and be entrepreneurial, and because, you know, I had to learn that when I was like 25.
Yeah.
Even though I did a business degree, that's another thing. You know, people that study business don't even learn this stuff.
Yeah. You learn how to do a business, how to work for a corporation, not to launch your own business. So, no, I agree. I mean, back then when I went to school, I mean, that just wasn't available. But now it is. With the age of the internet, and we figured things out. We figured out how to teach kids online in a really engaging and fun way, not a boring way. Like, we're not taking the old school system and putting it online. We're doing it, basically, we're running it like a tech company, you know, or like something that you offer parents, moms. So super. Well, thank you, Chanel. I really appreciate it. How can people get in touch with you if they want to learn more about what you have to offer?
Yeah, so I have a 12-week program to help women launch their own online business if they want to make a really high remote income from anywhere in the world. My free Facebook group is called Digital Nomad Mums. That's mum with a U because I'm English. And my program is the Dream Club, but you can find out more information about me. There's loads of free training in my free group. So best place to go is join there, check me out, watch my videos, decide if I'm full of crap or not, and then go from there.
And you're not. I have to say that I was going to launch a business to help digital nomad wannabes as far as their income, kind of more of a career counselor, a little different than yours. So I did take your course, and it's fantastic. And I recommend other friends to join the course, and they are telling me it's fantastic. Chanel knows her stuff. I had to put it on hold because, you know, Galileo is kind of blowing up, and this is my full-time focus right now. But I learned a ton from Chanel, and I'm hoping in the future. I mean, I still use it for Galileo, a lot of your marketing tips and whatnot. But I'm hoping to launch something of my own in the future. We'll see. But
you're loving this, and this is perfect for you because you get to talk about world schooling all day, which is like your dream.
It is. Yeah. It's a little bit less about helping parents with their income. But that is, I send them now to you.
Yeah. But you love this stuff. You love the homeschooling stuff. So it makes perfect sense for you.
Exactly. No, I'm super passionate about it. I love connecting with other, you know, not just world schoolers, but unschoolers, homeschoolers. We have a ton of families now who are leaving the private and public school system and wanting to come over to Galileo. There's a bit of a deschooling that needs to happen, and a little bit of an education. Our team did produce the Homeschooling Global Summit, which is free. All of last year's videos, the 40 videos are free, and we're making the 2020 Summit videos free. And this year,
I need to send that to my daughter's dad, actually, because he's always asking me questions about stuff.
Yeah, so we interviewed Sir Ken Robinson, Peter Gray, Pam Laricchia, all these experts in homeschooling and alternative education, and a lot of ed tech companies, and, you know, different people involved in this alternative education world. So I send people to watch those videos to learn about, you know, what's possible. And then once they're understanding that the school system is antiquated, self-directed learning is the way to go. If you don't want to do it yourself, because you as a parent can DIY. If you don't want to, you don't have the time, join us. We also have a lot of homeschooling families who are joining us. They've been doing it for a while, just great, but they're missing the social interaction, and the parents want kids as they get older to join us, because we offer so many more like tech classes and other things that they don't have access to, or they don't know. So
I mean, nobody's going to know all of that stuff that's on that little planner you just showed me. No parent can provide all of that. That's just
and
insane.
you know what? Next month there's gonna be even more. The month after that, even more. We're eventually gonna have like so many clubs and nano degrees to choose from that you're not gonna even have the time to do them all.
Good, that'll keep her busy.
Exactly. I think we're gonna record some of them so you can catch up, if you miss it. So awesome. We are super happy to have Nynaeve. My girls are so crazy about her. They think she is such a neat girl. And I really appreciate you joining the school when we were kind of still in an experimental stage. I mean, so you took a risk of trusting us with your daughter and her, her learning path. So I want to thank you for being a trailblazer in that way.
Oh, thank you. And no regrets at all. It's been amazing.
Good. All right. Well, take care.
Okay. See you later.